out here in Buckeye, Arizona, on the Kerr Dairy Farm. It's your farm? Yep. We built this place in 1990. It seems not that long ago. It's amazing. One thing you can tell the health of a cow, they call it chewing their cud. That means life is good. Everything is, if a cow ever gets sick, she won't do that. And that's when she's regurgitating her from her stomach and chewing hay and stuff all over again, like chewing tobacco. But if you see all of them out there, they're all doing it, most of them are. And a nutritionist or a vet will come and he'll actually see how many are chewing their cud. That's always a good healthy sign to see them chewing their cud. This time of year, here we are in August, and our fans will be turning on right now. It happens to be a nice day. But once it hits 90 degrees, our fans and misters turn on, and everything on a dairy farm is the comfort of the cow. We treat them like family, and we really do, because if they're not happy, they're not gonna produce milk for you. So we're always taking care of them to make sure that they've got all their needs necessary to live a happy life for a cow.
Many people don't realize that your milk that you find in a grocery store on Wednesday was probably on the farm on a Monday. So from the farm, it gets picked up, driven to a different processing plant, which most likely will bottle it and pasteurize it. From there, taken right to the store. It takes up to 48 hours for milk to get from the farm to your grocery store.
What's going on, everybody? So out here about to start some of these structures out here. We got a little one behind, kind of some post up. Get ready. We got James over here. Little Zay. We're gonna go get to starting our first hyper adobe buildings. So we have, well, actually now 19 goats at there because we have the addition of Melvin. We have 15 sheep, 5 alpaca, 3 pigs, 80 chickens, 50 ducks, 15 turkeys, 7 steers and a bull, and a couple of dogs. As soon as the sun comes up, you start hearing the ducks quack and the cows mooing, and then it's kind of time to get up, go start feeding animals, give them hay, water, or whatnot, make sure that everybody's good. Check out everything, make sure everybody's there, everything was secure over the night. Then actually kind of pretty random from there. We are a newer ranch, so there's always projects, there's endless work. It's either fencing, we've been getting hit by the monsoon, so we got to do a lot of repair work from that. We got buildings we're working on, planning for phases of our business aspects that we do.
I think they're really nice. They're really sweet. Yeah.
Rob was he was a big push behind why we decided to do goat milk and sheep milk. So the sheep milk is something we're looking at in the future as well.
We were looking at getting houses and then kind of looking at the housing market while everybody was going through a lot financially. People were still bidding for houses out here. So I looked at the alternative route because we've experienced 2008 and it wasn't a pleasurable experience for us. So we wanted to avoid having that again. So started looking in the land. As we look in the land, we started looking at like the history and like the current state of Black and minority ranching in the state of Arizona as a whole overall. We noticed that there was a huge lack of commercial
Were you able to find any Black ranchers?
Through what we did and all the research we've done and a lot of the, we weren't able to find any. You know, we were looking for mentors, we were reaching out looking for anything. We haven't found any that have necessarily contacted us or anything.
A lot of grocery stores back in the day would call us and say, we don't need your milk today. And with the dairy cow, they're constantly milking. We're milking our cows every day. So the dairy farmers came together and made a co-op, which is United Dairymen of Arizona. My dad was a part of that in the 1960s to develop that.
There are 60 farms that supply milk to our cooperative. The farmers focus on all logistics on the dairy and animal care. And then once the milk is picked up from the farm, UDA handles everything else. So we handle all transportation logistics. We then handle all processing and pasteurization, and then sales.
This is where we milk our cows. We have 20 cows on a side, so 40 cows are getting milked at one time in here. They all come in and line up, and the milker milks them from behind. We milk 24 hours a day. We're milking about 1,100 cows. And the cows enjoy coming in here. Look at this one over here. That's where she's enjoying getting milked, and she's just chewing away.
Feels good, huh?
Oh, it feels good. They want to get milked. The milking machines get put on, and then when they're not producing any more milk, the machines come off automatically.
Locally, every year, our cooperative sells about 300 million pounds of milk to our local processors, which then, process for Safeway and Fry's, Albertsons, etc. And that much milk sounds like a giant number. It turns into 37 million gallons of milk will be sold every year just through fluid milk and in the bottle in Arizona.
This is called our plate cooler. And the milk comes in here. Where does it go? Here's the temperature of our milk. And it's like 100 degrees. When it goes through this plate cooler, it comes out at 35 degrees. So it's amazing how quick it cools. It instantly turns it to cold milk. The milk is going into this, what we call a silo right now.
Well, it's a great, it's a whole system, isn't it?
Oh.
If any part of it isn't working.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
Right.
The economy and the economics of running a dairy farm is pretty tough. It's become a tougher livelihood, but I think the more and more people realize, especially coming out of COVID, I hope that we realize more how important it is to have local food.
The necessity of food security, of food sovereignty, having access to our own food sources. If we don't take this time right now to do these things, then we might not have another chance, because there's not a lot of land out there, and they don't make more land, so people are buying it, and you're either going to have that space to be able to do what you need to do or not.
We figure about 100 cows per employee. So if you have 1,500 cows at a dairy farm, usually you can figure about 15 employees. And then of them 15 employees, usually that's a whole family that's represented there. So we have like 15 families that rely on this farm for their livelihood.
All of our members are family-owned farms. These are families that have been farming and raising cows and making milk for generations. I think that the Kerrs are actually one of the original members of our cooperative. So over 60 years ago, their family helped found this cooperative, and now they're still in the business.
There's so much that we keep learning. Here we are in Arizona, and we're having a drought right now. And we've learned the different kind of feeds that we can feed our animals that doesn't take so much water. What do you do when you need this much water and you can only irrigate half of what you really need? So there is challenges. Our dairy farm right here is in the Buckeye Valley is what we call it. This is west of Phoenix. It was just last week came out the fastest growing city in the United States of America. So the property here is very desirable. Well, what that means is people are moving here and building houses on the ground that we used to be able to farm and feed our animals. So there is challenges, but I feel with the next generation of kids coming up, I call them kids, but the next generation of dairy farmers, they'll meet that challenge.
It's peaceful. We're out there, we're outside, we're with the kids. You know, we're trying to do something positive. We're trying to learn every day. We're trying to prevent people from having to have all the lumps and bruises that we get through this because we're not experienced. We're city people learning how to get out there and ranch and do those things. So now she kept pushing me into trying to do dairy, and then here he comes along with his La Mancha crew. So it kind of makes me have to open my mind, change, well, more so than I usually do, to get out there. But yeah, and just like learning it and seeing the value in it, and then like coming up with products that we can do with it that would help in the future. Like I say, the powdered products, the long life shelf products that we can do just by using the dairy as opposed to using the meat.
For the most part, when you think of dairy, you think of milk or cheese, yogurt, ice cream, butter. Those are obviously very common dairy foods. But at our processing plant in Tempe, what we can do that's really exciting is when we dry those products, we are able to make a product called lactoferrin, which is a very specific milk protein that is used in infant formulas. We also make an ultra pure lactose, which is just, when you remove the lactose from the milk, you can then dry it. And that lactose can be used it's a milk sugar, so you can use it to sweeten different beverages and foods. But you can also use it in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, sports nutrition. It's very diverse.
Me and my wife, that was our date night. Friday night, we'd go milk the cows. So that's how we got started. So, okay, we're here at the CAF Barn. Boy, it's surprisingly nice and quiet right now. They're all relaxed. And this is what you want to see too, is they're just chilling. They're all relaxed. They got done eating. Now they're just growing up. It's basically like a nursery at the hospital. These guys are anywhere from 1 day up to 2 months. They stay in here for about 2 months, and then they get moved to another area where they'll be all together. That's when they start getting to go to preschool. Because then when they get to go start messing around with one another and learning things.
How many are in here?
I think I counted 81 today. I did my inventories today, and we need to know what we have, so I was just in here earlier counting them all. These are the young ones here. This one was born the 29th, so what is today, the 30th? So these guys are only a day old here. So you can see their birth date on their tags. In about 2 years, then they'll be milking, and hopefully they'll be able to stay in the milking herd for 4 or 5 years. The average lifespan of a milking cow is probably 3 or 4 years milking.
This is like the stuff, I think it's really easy to sensationalize it and make it like all like this dream fantasy thing to like create a community and to take care of each other and to have our resources and needs met. But to see it actually happening and to be a part of it actually happening and to see people who are passionate about this stuff actually happening, that's what really does it for me, is because it's not just a dream anymore, or it's not just a an idea or something that I hope I can attain someday. You know, or like actually you see a lot of people who are doing this stuff.
Making relationships, I think that's the biggest thing, because there's people out here doing it, and even though it's hard and we are new and there's no funding, there's still help. Do you know what I mean? And even if you're not ready, building these relationships will be there for when you are ready. You know what I mean? And when you get to that point and you're ready for distribution, you know, or you're ready to, you know, to have product development or things like that. And that's what we want to be there for as well, to just kind of help people along, because we see the potential. You know, we definitely can do it together, and we don't have to rethink everything. You know, we can combine and build together.
Okay, here comes the next group coming right to you.
It's amazing. I will say, when I first started in the industry, I didn't know very much about dairy, but over the years have gotten to know all of the people and the families and even the cows, and it's something that I've grown very passionate about. I love our Arizona dairy industry. It's just great people.
See how they'll go over there and they'll turn. Each day is different on the dairy farm. You might be thinking, well, tomorrow I want to get this done. And then you wake up, and like my son today realized that one of the milkers didn't show up. So you're always on your feet trying to, you know, juggle things around each day. And I think, like I've said earlier, that, you know, it's such a neat livelihood to raise a family, knowing that you're producing something good that people rely on, that's very accessible at the grocery store. I mean, all you got to do is go buy milk. I mean, that means when that happens, that means that all the other people that buy food can do things that they love to do. They can be doctors and lawyers. Everybody can go pursue their own love and livelihood. You know, the whole food aspect of it, of producing a good product for, you know, all the way up from milk to cottage cheese to ice cream, and then the list goes on.